Hello everyone, how you doing? You are welcome to market overview slash trade idea. So on this call, those of you that usually watch my market overview videos, I'm sure you know what we do on this call. So if you're new, you're just watching my video for the first time, you're just coming across this video for the first time. So what I basically do on this call, anytime I have market overview call, is I look for trade ideas for the week. That's what I do. It's that simple as that. So I start my analysis from the higher time frame, and then I start my analysis from the higher time frame, try to get the directional bias for the week, and then going into the week, that is when I look for my entries on lower time frame to take the trade to. The targets I'd already marked out on Sunday. So that's how I do it. So basically, I would look at some currency pairs I have uh, flagged already, and I would discuss them, what I think might happen this week, and then we look for trade ideas into the week. Exactly. So once again, you are welcome to market overview slash trade idea. So as you can see to the upper right of my screen, this is the blue list. Right. And then we also have the red list, which I'm going to talk about quickly. And then we have the blue list. So the red list, these are trade ideas, currency pairs I looked at last week. So last week market overview, I discussed the AUD, NZD, CAD Chef, Euro NZD, Euro JPY, and the NASDAQ. So I explained what should happen, told you what I wanted to see, before I get in on a trade, the directional bias, and all of that. So I'm just going to quickly do a quick overview because majority of them, if not almost all of them, I think except one, we'll see it. I think they've not taken out the liquidity yet. You understand? So on a higher time frame, I try to look for the bigger time frame liquidity, and then the imbalances where price might potentially get to, and then the liquidity the institutions will most likely take out, right? So that's basically what I do on a higher time frame. So if you're just joining this call, or you are just watching this recording, you're just coming across me for the first time, there is a video in the YouTube page. It's going to pop up now. Exactly. This is it. So I explained understanding. So what I explained in this video is basically you can try to, because if you're just coming across me for the first time, you probably might not understand how I trade, right? So this is naked chart price action. I don't use indicator or any of that to trade. I try to understand and just listen to what the candles are saying. Then we communicate, and then I take my trade based off our conclusion. So yeah, that is it. Exactly. So yes, please take our time to watch this video. I explained what to look out for anytime you have this higher time frame bias. You see the higher time frame bias I give. What do you do next when you have seen this higher time frame bias? So in this video, you will be able to at least have a little more understanding as to how I trade. Exactly. The way I trade is simple, but at the same time it's complex because you need to understand quite a number of things before you can really, really get the whole sauce. All right, so quickly, AUDNZD. This is just a recap of last week price action, and then the trade ideas I called out for last week. So last week, I remember for AUDNZD, I said I was believing that the institutions were going to continue to take price to the downside, and that was what happened, right? As the market opened, and then price sold all the way to the downside. So I wanted the institutions to take out this liquidity, right? If I remember, I told you in a call that I wanted the institution to take out this liquidity. That was why I was of the opinion that we should see more sales on AUD and ZD to the downside. But you can see, came down on Thursday, created the low for the week, and then just lines up with the harder liquidity area. And so there's more liquidity here. So I'm still believing that. I'm still agreeing to last week buyers that AD and ZD to go to the downside, or will go to the downside rather. And I mean, among all pairs that I discussed last week, I was only able to trade AD and ZD. That's it. I can call out about eight assets, and I might end up taking just one. So I only took AD and ZD. I had two entries for AD and ZD. Go to the 1 hour because I wanted price to sell down, obviously. So I was looking out for sales. I remember calling this out during the pre-London session. We call pre-London session. We had one structure level. We had range. We had the liquidity to the downside. We're selling at premium. Entry had 80 level. Institutional entry lines up with demand and supply. No, just retail smart money all together in one place. And then took the sell from there. Just came all the way to the downside. And then we also had a 15 minutes. There was a 13 minutes actually. It was a 13 minutes markup. This was the second sell right on the 13 minutes. See, we have this imbalance also lines up with structure, demand supply. We have a range, very structured. Took the sell from there. So now, did he get to my final target? No, we didn't, right? Because I had my like full TP, had this down here, even after 1 to 3 partial and all of that. But then it did not get to my final target. So do I still see this coming down? Definitely. But currently now I do not see any entry yet. You can see it's all choppy and it's crazy right now. So I'm just gonna wait. So for AD I'm still bearish. I don't want to waste too much time on this call, okay? Let's go straight to card chef. So card chef, I explained this last week also. This one, yes, I remember having a sell limit for this, missed my entry. I told you guys that wanted to see price go all the way to the upside the more, right? To come inside the demand supply area, which was also a weekly imbalance, right? Then price came there on this Monday. Yeah, on Monday was a big bullish day. Price came into that imbalance. And then, like I said, going into the week, that is when I look for my entries, right? And then on 1 hour time frame, I saw what the break of structure as the structure shifts to the downside. After this, liquidity sweep, we had what the structure shift to the downside. Price came up, came back down. I wanted to take my sell at this imbalance here. Can you see? When I take my sell at this imbalance, lines up with structure, lines up with demand supply, you know, 900, that's a 00 level institutional bank number. So I wanted to sell this, but came up and dropped, so I missed my entry also. So going into the week, no, I think this week will be, I might be a little bit busy this week. So, but then just yeah, that is it. So for card chef, I still believe it's gonna go down. We have this liquidity to the downside, definitely. And then Euro NZD. Euro NZD, amazing, amazing trade, right? This trade just came into the imbalance. Thank you, Charles, for this heads up. Came into the imbalance, went up. As at last week, we wanted price to take out the equal highs. But then, I mean, this is, can you see price is so close? They didn't take it out. So the full condition in order for this trade to be invalid has not been met. It has not met the target. So with this, I think this has given us another opportunity. If there can be some kind of retracement, I would really, really appreciate it if the institutions can, discount this more before finally taking price up to take out this daily liquidity. And this would be a very, very amazing spot to play. Already on Friday, you can see they came into the imbalance already. On Friday, they came into the imbalance, as you can see, and give the accumulation from there. So hopefully, I just hope they will come back down, give us another discount before going up, or they could just blast through. Price could even spike up market open, but let's see. Okay. So for Euro JPY also, uh, I remember telling you, seeing how price came to this demand supply area, and then price came out rejected all the way to the upside. I was of the opinion that we could see continuous higher pricing until price will take out this liquidity. But once again, It did not, right? So it's just in between. And then during the pre-London session call, I told you guys that this imbalance could be an area of target. And then going to the 1 hour, there was this markup. Yeah, I saw this. I'm of the opinion that price will buy. That was why I had this area waiting for price to get to. This is Euro JPY. Um, let me show you the markup quickly. That says Euro JPY. Just gonna pull it up. So you can know that we actually have seen this before it even got there. Okay. Oh, perfect. We do have it now. Okay, so this is Euro JPY. You can see I wanted price to come into this area. The only reason why I did not have a buy limit waiting for this, like in this area, the only reason why I did not have like a buy limit waiting was because of it was way above 30 pips. And I have a rule 30 pips. If I'm going to have a limit order, it should be 30 pips and below. A little bit above 30 at times, very rare occasions. If the stop loss is like 31, 32, I can just set it like that. But when we have 52 pips going to this low, 60 pips, oh no, definitely I'm going to wait for a much more lower time frame entry. And we do have the 1 hour breaker structure. Yeah, you can see price came into that area. I marked out before I played out. As you can see, August 3rd, 10 a.m. So this is not me cropping it out and saying, hello, I saw it before. All right. Me using the replay too and say, okay, I said why it happened. I actually saw it why it happened. Okay. So we had some demand here. We had demand, we had supply, we have supply, lines up with hidden balance. But just perfect. And then and then looking at the accumulation that happened, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price broke higher high. I mean, I could have taken a trade based off yeah, I remember I was waiting for this area. Yes. When I saw the markup, I think I was waiting for this lower price. So now price is not there yet, and the last week has closed. So what are we looking at for this week? I'm still bullish on Euro JPY until the candles tell me something different, right? So for now, I'm still bullish, and I'm going to be on the lookout for buying opportunity if the candles are in agreement with me. Okay, and then lastly, last week, but Nasdaq also, I would say I was very skeptical about this Nasdaq trade, because if you watch the recording, I said it could just fly all the way to the upside, or there could be actually a good tendency that price will come down to take out this internal liquidity and then come to this structure area before it finally goes all the way to the upside. I mean, I would be really excited if that is going to happen, maybe going into the week, right? Just like how we took the buy from here and then took it all the way to capturing this equal highs here, about 12 days of buy. So I'm just really interested in this area. Now we are at a discount area. This is a much more discount area to buy. Number two, this is a structure level coming from a retail standpoint. And then number three, we have this imbalance also coming from a smart money standpoint. So they're all saying the same thing. And let us see what we happen. Although, okay, we do have an internal structure shift to the downside. Okay, lower low, lower high, and lower low. Okay, so let's see. But then coming from the daily standpoint, from a daily standpoint, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So the daily still looks very much bullish, but the structure within the daily structure is bearish. So I'm just gonna see what happens. Right. Okay. But then I'm bullish on Nasdaq. I still think it's gonna go up, right? Because according to what my mentor always say, anytime, like most of the time when he's analyzing the indices, says the indices are more bullish than bearish. Right? So let's try to stick with that. So keep an eye on this area for Nasdaq. It is now at an area of interest. So yes, that is all we discussed last week. So now we are going to the main trade ideas for this week. I have 8 of them in number. There's so many, and at the end of the day, I may end up just trading 1 or 2. So now the blue lists. Let's come to the blue list. The first one on my list is the dollar index. Now the DXY. I wanted to show you something. You know, when I was looking at this DXY earlier today, I saw this. Let me pull it up for you. Okay. I'm gonna pull up 3 charts actually. The first one. Okay, so we have the 3 of them pulled up now. Let us look at this. Now look at the dates. This is September 23rd, 2022. So next month now we'll make it, next month 23rd will make it 1 year since this analysis was made, right? And then I remember there was a lot of, we had a lot of conversation around what was going to happen to dollar index in this area last year. Don't know how many of you remember, right? I like to keep my markups, so I can always find them anytime I want. Right. So look at this. We called out this area. We were anticipating this area for a sell down for on the dollar index. That is 112.082. I mean, I still have it here now. This is it up here. Right. This area. This one here. Now look at how precise this works. Okay. Now the second markup was on the 12 months time frame. This is the dollar index. One candle represent 1 trading year, right? So let's come to this area now. 12 months time frame, and look at this. It's just so amazing. Right, price came all the way up to that area where we were anticipating some distribution. Right, 12 months, we saw the sell going into the monthly time frame. We saw the imbalance, which was where we drew this imbalance. We projected it all the way to the future, and we were also anticipating the dollar index to give us sales from that area. Now, coming from an harmonic standpoint now, I know quite a number of you sent me the markup of the dollar index, giving us a deep, was it a deep crab? I cannot actually remember what name of the harmonic pattern was, but then was giving us the 1.618D inside the same area also. Now, the dollar index started to reject from this area we had marked out. This is July of 2022. So I'd even seen this July, August, September. So it's been more than a year since this analysis was made, right? And then looking at coming back more than a year after now, seeing the response. Just we saw it a year before it happened, and this is where we are now for the dollar index, right? Now, this was done much later. This was September, 2 months after. Now, look at this one, November 2022. Now, this area, till today, the dollar index is still struggling in this area. That's what I wanted you to see. Now, we marked out this area, seeing our price rejected from where we called out, right? Yeah, this was the harmonic pattern, this one. This was a supply level, this was a supply level. And then we projected it into the future that price will get to this area and still find some kind of hard time breaking and closing below that area. Now, if we come to the dollar index now, and then we go to the 1 month time frame, now we can see already that, okay, this, and also I projected it earlier today, like going back in time, we can see that this area, this level where the dollar index has been since it came there since December 2022, the dollar index has just been back and forth inside the same area. Now, what is most likely going to happen next now? I'm really curious to see what wants to happen next, right? This is a very strong level of demand and supply, very, very strong. Right, you can see the response that look at the response after DXY came to that area in 1981. It was a very massive buy to the upside. Can you see? Came back down to that area, came there, retested to the downside, came all the way back up, sold down again, came there, sold down, came there, sold down, finally broke it to the upside, came back down, broke it to the downside. And look at that same area again since 1981. That's about, let's say 1980 to 2000, that's about 20 years. right? So that's about 19 years if we had the one 1981, 19 years, right? Then look at from 2000 to 2023, that's about 23 years. So you had 19 to 23, you have, that's about 41 years. So from 41 years, like 41 years, DXY is really, really finding like anytime it comes to this area, it is very hard for it to break, except this one, it just went up, this one came down. But the majority of the time it comes to this area, it is always finding it hard. So I'm not surprised seeing how since December last year, it has just been back and forth in this area. It will come down, it will go up, it would come down, go up, come down, come down. Now, this one, what is most likely going to happen now? That's it. Because now this is looking like we're in a bullish market. But then if you check this analysis that was done on July 2022, 22, on July 22, you can see that the structure is actually bearish. Going by market structure, we can see that we have this lower low, lower high, lower low, and then this. In as much as the structure within the structure is bullish, but we still can see the overall structure is bearish. What does that mean? The effect is going to happen immediately? Definitely no. You can see this is since last year, December, and it has just been consolidating back and forth, back and forth. So it came down. First, we had this institutional candle I was looking at in this area. Maybe price was going to reject from there. So let me take this down. I mean, this one, see this institutional cube, I was looking at this area and maybe price is going to reject from there. And it has been really, really, like price has been finding it hard to break. And then I remember in one of the calls when we're looking at this, that it could potentially come down to this imbalance here, right? It could potentially come down to this imbalance. And it eventually did last month. As you can see, that was CP high effect and all that pushed price all the way to the downside. As a matter of fact, I think we do have CP high. I think we have CP high this week also. To just come to I was fast, so let me log in quickly. So CP high, you can see yes, so these are the news for this week. On Monday, it's quite a calm day. And then on Tuesday, we have AUD orange. On Wednesday, that's when we have NZD, inflation expectation. And then on Thursday, we do have CP high, core CP high, right? So this is a major news for the dollar index. Expect some big movement. I remember the last CP high. It was the last CP high we had last month that took my NASDAQ 12 days of holding to TP. So CP high can really bless you and could also, if you are on the wrong side, oh boy. Exactly. So they just come back to the tab here. And so now, what am I expecting for DXY? Really just gonna be on the lookout. Okay, on a longer term, bias, and I'm just gonna look at what is gonna happen. But then obviously we want to get trades, right? So coming to the daily time frame now, what am I seeing? So this is that same area structure level. Okay, you can see I have it there already. Now I kind of did something, just looking at this, I'm like, okay, we do have this. You can see our prices are expecting this, all of this trend to the downside. And I remember calling out, no, I didn't call it out. It was just a private markup itself from this imbalance, and then prices down. So now that DXY has captured the equal lows we had down here, took it out, and then there's been like a heavy retracement to the upside. So is dollar going to continue going up now, or is it going to come down? I don't know yet. I don't know. So I'm just going to wait to see what happens on the daily time frame. Okay, but now going to Euro USD, that should be the next. Euro USD, I actually saw something on Euro USD because USD now you can see price took out this high, right? CP high, that's what CP high doing, right? And price now has come into this imbalance. Now, is there anything that is of interest to me why I want to see higher pricing? Remember, how I like to do my analysis. I always like to make sure that there's the liquidity, there's the, majorly liquidity. Majority of the time, what strengthens gives me a directional bias is the presence of structure and then liquidity. The two has to be there actually. So now this, I know we do have the structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, and our price has given us a discount, and the price has come into this imbalance and seems to be buying off from there. But I'm not seeing any liquidity to the upside, except if you scale down to the 1 hour or so. So this is that daily liquidity, daily imbalance that has been filled. Okay, now come down to the 1 hour time frame. So this is what I'm seeing that is exciting. You know, we do have this liquidity up here. Okay, so so maybe the hero is gonna go up, you know, more like scalp, just like come out. You know, we do have this. So just gonna be liquidity above. We have this liquidity in terms of structure. Look at what happened when price came into that imbalance on the higher time frame, right? Even when it gave us the lower high, lower low break, right? Came here. If you had bought this, definitely if your stop was down here, you would have made more than 1 to 3. So it rejected, came back to the downside, and then look at what happened again. To a low, lower high, lower low, and then it broke the structure in this area. Price came back down, and then boom, look at the response. So is it going to continue buying now? Well, probably because of the liquidity, we might be on the lookout for higher pricing. But then where is it going to buy from? Scaled to the 4 hour time frame. I mean, I would love to see an entry probably inside this lower imbalance here. So if the 4 hour is actually going to start going, like if this structure is valid, this is a valid structure actually, but then so what we should be looking at for now is a higher low and then a higher high based on what we have. Yeah, and then sweep out the liquidity. So so for Euro USD, let's maybe keep an eye on this area for accumulation. Okay, and then take price all the way to the upside. But once again, for dollar index, I'm not sure. So this EU, I'm just going to be a little bit skeptical about it. All right. So that's it. All right. So let's try and be fast. So for CHEP JPY, for CHEP JPY on the daily time frame, most of the JPY, you know, they actually give this big candle, right? So for CHEP JPY, I'm seeing the liquidity to the upside. Okay. And I'm also seeing this liquidity to the downside. But now institutions are closer to this liquidity than this one. So most likely it might just buy to the upside, right? And then it will scale down to, but now price is beginning to give us a retracement, right? It could just give the retracement and then boom, go all the way to the upside, create another big candle that will sweep this liquidity. Now it will scale to the 4 hours, but first let me see this. Okay, because this area now looks uh interesting to me. Okay, this area actually. Anywhere in this area, you could put it anywhere. Right. Why is interesting? Because again, we had the supply, we had, you know, break retest put to the upside. It's retail stuff, right? I mean, they work. Okay, so big shout out to those of you that trade it. So we do have this supply, we have this demand. So who knows, right? So I'm just gonna leave that there. Let's go down to the lower time frame, the 4 hours. What do we have? Oh boy, lines up with an imbalance now. See it? Now there's an imbalance in that area from here to, yeah, exactly. So now, although we do have this lower one here, but all of this area basically, you can be on the lookout for um, possible higher pricing from there. It would make sense if they would come down to this area and then go up, because for Euro JPY, remember we're also looking for higher pricing on Euro JPY, right? So if this daily liquidity is going to be the target, that means if they want to go for this one first before this one down here, then most likely this area would be a good area where price will reject from. So that's for CAD JPY, Euro AUD. So Euro AUD, this trade has left us. Okay, I remember when I called out this trade, that we should be on the lookout for price coming into the weekly imbalance. It came just very, very little into the imbalance, and then since then, look at how many weeks of buy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 weeks of straight buys to the upside. So I'm very much believing that Euro AUD will go up, take out this liquidity. It might take a while, but who knows? It might even get to this imbalance up here. So for Euro JPY, I'm bullish. Going to the daily time frame, we can see structure that has been forming, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Even give us this higher high, give us this higher low, and now we have this higher high. So if the institutions will be lenient with us, maybe lower pricing, and then we can join the buy to the upside. A very good area where price would most likely reject from again would be this area again. All of this area, okay? Because I think I want you guys to, in as much as you're smart money traders, try to make sure you inculcate the habit of um, marking out these zones also, because yeah, they're really powerful. Okay. Yeah. I mean, coming from a fundamental standpoint, they are really powerful. All right. Okay. So it's not only about technical analysis. You need to be able to combine the two together. Exactly. So for Euro AUD, I'm still believing it's going to go up. And we have this what institutional cube here. So makes sense. And then for EuroCAD, what do I have for EuroCAD? EuroCAD on the weekly time frame. Okay, probably maybe I just wanted to call your attention to the liquidity. I'm not seeing anything. It could come for this one down here, it could come for this one up here. Just keep an eye, okay? That's for EuroCAD. There's no present markup or directional bias. I'm just indifferent. It might come up, it might come down. Whichever one is close to, that will be the target. And then NZD-USD. NZD-USD. Also, I want to call this to your attention. We do have a daily liquidity to the downside. Yeah. Okay. We have this daily liquidity to the downside. Price has already filled this imbalance. Is it going to reject from here, or it's going to come more into this structure level, this area? And also we have this institutional cube. Yeah, I'm just going to be hoping. Right. And then for the dollar index, I told you, I don't know if it's going to go up. I don't know if it's going to come down. So, just you keep an eye if you're going to trade it. And then for USD SEC, USD SEC, USD SEC is a slide because USD SEC, I was waiting on this asset and then it finally missed me because I was looking at, I wanted price to sell from here because of this liquidity. Exactly. So, but then price came all the way to the upside, came into that area, the imbalance, and probably I got busy during the weekend. I missed out on the sell down. This would have been a very good entry to take the sell. Right, this area here is high, this higher low, and this higher high, and then it broke to the downside. I think this imbalance was on a 30 minutes or so. Or was it 30? No, 35 minutes. I think it was 35 minutes. Oh, it wasn't 35 minutes. Oh boy. I can't remember 1 minute then. Was it 50? Oh, 50 minutes, definitely. It was on 50 minutes. See how price came into the imbalance and look at the response from there. So is this the move that is going to take you as a SEC all the way down? Uh-oh. I hope not. I hope it's going to give us a retracement so we can join the trend. So for USD SEC, I'm bearish to the downside. And then for Bitcoin, quickly, Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin. Oh boy. Bitcoin, I'm still believing this guy is going to buy. Okay, and you guys just look at it, it has been very, very repetitive. It goes up, it hits the liquidity, gives us some kind of consolidation, comes down into the imbalance, boom, takes out the liquidity, right? It has been doing that Did it here, took out the liquidity accumulated, went up, did it here, did it here. So same thing for Bitcoin. You see this big imbalance. Most likely we can see price is even there already. So maybe some bullishness anytime soon. Okay, anytime soon. All right, so that is gonna be it for me. I hope I did not spend too much time. So if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. And that's it. Have a good trading week. Bye-bye.